Well, my invitation must have gotten lost in the mail. I imagine your invitation got lost too, but let's talk about Lauren Sanchez's over the top wedding. Apparently, this wedding cost about $50 million. It might have cost 60 million, 70 million. Who cares? Because when you're worth $200 billion, billion with a B, what's a couple of million? What's 50, 60, 70? They could have spent $100 million on this wedding and not even blinked. Now, as I told you guys before, I don't do destination weddings. You won't see me at a destination wedding. I will not travel unless it's within an hour of my house. I'm probably not coming to your wedding. I might not show up for my own wedding unless it's in my living room. Okay, like I said, I don't do destination weddings. I think asking your guest to do a destination wedding is kind of a slap in the face, asking them to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to book hotels and travel internationally. Unless you are Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos and all your friends are the Kardashians, Oprah Winfrey, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, Lauren Sanchez, she went viral for this Dolce & Gabbana dress she wore. It's real white and lacy. I'm not a fashionista, but if you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple, come over to YouTube and you'll see what we are talking about. Now, she is also on the cover of Vogue. I don't know if this is why Anna Wintour stepped down, but Vogue has certainly descended, right? Vogue used to put models on the cover and real thought leaders. Now they put this woman on because she married a very, very wealthy man, but she does look happy. And I'm someone, I've hated on Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos a little bit. I've come around to actually liking them because they just own the fact that they're out of touch. They're not trying to be something they're not. They're not like Harry and Meghan who are trying to act all down to earth and relatable while they're living in a mansion in Montecito. Lauren Sanchez, she's like, yeah, I'm marrying one of the wealthiest men on earth. We're in love. We're both short and important and we like to have a good time. Jeff Bezos seems so giddy and so happy. The man is beaming and smiling and grinning from ear to ear. But I want to talk about some of the wedding guests. So we have to start off by talking about the Kardashians. The Kardashians all went to this wedding. I think the only one that did not go to the wedding was Kourtney Kardashian, and I hate that I even know that. I actually feel my brain disintegrating. The fact that I know that is disgusting. But Kris Jenner, being the momager that she is, because the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder, she schlepped her whore daughters all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to go to Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos' wedding because she was probably hoping, hey, if Lauren Sanchez gets cold feet, if she doesn't make it down the aisle, she's got a couple of her daughters here lined up. I imagine Kris Jenner was thinking, well, if there's some other dignitaries or wealthy, successful princes and kings at the wedding, she can pawn her daughters off to them like medieval times. It really felt like some Bridgerton situation where Kris Jenner had all of her single daughters there ready to be pawned off to the highest bidder at this fancy, highfalutin wedding. But the fact of the matter is this. Kim Kardashian was probably seething at this wedding. I imagine Kim Kardashian, who has whored herself out for 20 years. Sex tape, she's promoted cupcakes, she's promoted every product under the sun. She's dated Ray J, she's dated Kanye, probably a couple other guys with yays in their name. But Kim is at this wedding watching Lauren Sanchez, who seemingly came out of nowhere, didn't hustle as hard as she did, just walk her way down the aisle to marry a man who is worth $200 billion. So I imagine Kim Kardashian was upset, and you can tell Kim Kardashian was upset because at the after party, she showed up in one of the most revealing outfits I've ever seen at a wedding. I don't care if it was the after party. If you guys are listening to us, I'm going to explain this to you as best I can. It's basically a Marie Antoinette sort of let them eat cake outfit if Marie Antoinette was mauled by raccoons. It's lacy, it seems like it's missing parts, her boobs are busting out of it. Kim Kardashian, you are not a girl's girl for showing up to another woman's wedding in this outfit. And like I said, I don't care if it was the after party, I don't care if it was the next night. Showing up to a woman's wedding in this outfit is abject insanity. It is objectively crazy, but that's who Kim Kardashian is. And you know she is seething because she has hustled and whored herself out with these loser guys and basketball players and rappers. And here comes Lauren Sanchez going to marry a man worth $200 billion. Now, some other guests at the wedding. We have to talk about Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah Winfrey, she goes to this wedding. And what I find so hypocritical about Oprah Winfrey is on November 4th, the night before the election, Oprah Winfrey told us, unless we vote for Kamala Harris, we might never have another election. We might never have another election. Democracy is going to come to an end if President Trump gets back in office. Everybody's lives are going to turn into hellish hellscapes. Well, Oprah, seems to be doing great. She's with Gayle, her best friend, and I use the word best friend loosely. They're at the wedding, living it up. There are about 90 private jets, I'm told, that arrived in Venice for this wedding. So Oprah, you are full of crap for telling us that the world is going to come to an end because you seem to be hunky-dory and doing just fine. And Gayle King, I'm happy to see she's made it back down to earth from her Blue Origin space ride. I'm sure they're offended that I'm calling it a ride. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio was also at the wedding. And as I mentioned, there were about 90 private jets that arrived in Venice for this fancy, highfalutin, extreme wedding that cost $60 million. So Leonardo DiCaprio, he kept trying to wear one of those black baseball caps. You guys know how he does. He wears these baseball caps. He tries to hide himself. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio, his whole thing is climate change. We can't fly private. We have to recycle. We have to compost. We have to drive, rinkety electric vehicles. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio, you're also full of crap, just like Oprah. It's the rules for thee, not for me. You want to preach and opine to all of us on how to live our lives, but then you're flying private into this wedding with your 27-year-old girlfriend, which is actually old for you because you're used to dating girls who are under 25. One more thing I want to talk about as it pertains to this wedding. When I was watching the Kardashians get off of these boats and all these celebrities and Lauren Sanchez, there was so much silicone and filler at this wedding. It was like a Tupperware convention, okay? If a boat went down in the Venetian canals, at least we had some flotation devices because all of these women were there. And as I said on my social media over the weekend, if you're a plastic surgeon and you are looking for clients and a new clientele, you should have been at this wedding with your business card. You should have been going around saying, hey, here's my business card. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Dr. So-and-so from Beverly Hills, because these women probably keep the plastic surgery business in check. And Oprah Winfrey, I don't care what she says. In my opinion, the O stands for Ozempic because the woman looks like she is on Ozempic. And as far as I remember, she's invested in some company that's an Ozempic alternative, like a semaglutide sort of alternative, which I think is rich coming from a woman who is also an investor in Weight Watchers. So basically, Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos' wedding, it was the hottest ticket for all these celebrities. One person who looked gorgeous, who looked incredible, was none other than Ivanka Trump, President Donald Trump's daughter. She looked great because Ivanka Trump is classy and gorgeous and stunning. So she looked awesome. She looked amazing. She was there with her husband, Jared Kushner. It seemed like it was an incredible time. For me, I don't do the crowds. I don't do the chaos. I don't do the craziness. But if you're a rich multi-billionaire celebrity, you probably enjoyed the wedding. And Ivanka Trump, she looked gorgeous and stunning. And like I said, it's nice to see some classy people at this wedding mingling in with Kylie Jenner, who at 27 years old has probably been under the knife a dozen times.